The road to Coventry has officially begun, so let's break down week one.
Lightning win the National League Playoff final
against the odds.
They have done
the
it.
Leeds
It
Knights.
is the Leeds Knights who are your playoff champions.
The Sheffield Steel Dogs are your NIHL national champions.
Welcome back to BritBoy Hockey. Before we get into it, make sure to slapshot that like and subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss the rest of this series. And stick around until the end for my week one Final Four predictions. Right, with all of that said, let's get into it. Let's start by taking a look at the groups. In Group A, Sheffield lead the way, followed closely by the league champions, the Swindon Wildcats, who are level on points, then the Raiders, with Peterborough currently at the bottom. Over in Group B, Leeds sit top, followed by last season's champions, the MK Lightning. Hull sit just behind them, with the Tigers rounding out the group. Now on to the results from week one. Sheffield got the job done against Peterborough, winning 3-1 and 7-4. Hull picked up a 3-1 win over MK, but the Lightning hit hard back with a 6-1 victory in the return fixture. Swindon edged a tight one against Raiders, winning 4-3 in overtime, before backing it up with a 5-2 win. And in Yorkshire, Leeds beat the Tigers 3-2, but the Tigers responded with a 4-3 overtime win of their own. Let's move on to the stats. There's no goalie stats just yet, but plenty to look at from the skaters. These are all from the NIHL website. Caden Viegas for Swindon, along with Nathan Ripley and Ivan Bjorky-Nordstrom for Sheffield, are all tied at the top with 5 points. Cam Huff leads the way for goals with 3, and honestly, at this point, that's just usual business. And talking about Ivan Bjorky-Nordstrom, he also tops the assist chart with 4. Now, looking ahead to this weekend's fixtures, Sheffield take on Swindon in a big matchup. Romford go head-to-head with Peterborough. We've got a Yorkshire battle as Leeds face Hull, and the MK Lightning take on Telford. Now, the moment you're all hopefully waiting for. My Final Four predictions based on what we've seen so far. First up, I've got the Swindon Wildcats. 2 strong performances against a tough Raiders side. If they keep that up, they'll absolutely be heading to Coventry. I was actually talking to someone on the weekend who said even if the Wildcats don't make Coventry, which of course would be a big shock to the rest of the league, I've always believed that there's almost an expectation that the league champions make it to Coventry, but this person was saying that even if they don't, the league championship will still go down as a massive achievement, and it will also go down as one of the club's best seasons in general. Talking about Romford, I've got the Raiders. Yes, okay, they did lose both games this weekend, but they pushed Swindon all the way, and that, remember, is the league champion Swindon Wildcats. This is a tough, well-organised team. If they can continue to be gelled together, if they continue to work as a team, I think they'll make it through. Third, I've got the Hull Seahawks. Matty has a clear vision, we all know that. The team knows the goals. The players also know the goal, and that goal is Coventry, and this is their year to do that. And finally, I've got the Leeds Knights. They may have not quite hit their top form yet that we've seen this season and in previous seasons, but we know how strong they can be. They're a previous champion at Coventry, and I do think they'll find a way through. However, if they do, I believe some of their players are away with GB on the weekend of Coventry, so that will make them short benched by a few. That's always a risk with sending your players away to GB, but we'll have to see how they deal with that if they do make it through, which I think of course they will. So, after week one, Sheffield and Leeds sit top of their respective groups, and just to confirm, my Final Four prediction as of this week is Swindon, Romford, Hull and Leeds. We'll have to see if any of that changes next week. On a personal note, and before I wrap up this video, I just want to say I'm really excited to be heading to Coventry for a 3rd straight time, for a 3rd straight year. It's always a great weekend, whether you've been there previously or if you haven't, no matter your team, no matter whether they make it or not. It's just a great weekend to spend along with the hockey community, watching 4 great games of hockey and crowning a new champion. Even if it's the same champion as the year before, it's always a different Coventry year on year. And I'm also really excited to be making content about the best and the final event of the NIHL season. If you enjoyed this video, then don't forget to slapshot that like and subscribe button, and also make sure and this is a double, make sure to turn on notifications so that you stay tuned to my weekly updates in this series. I wonder if Ryan Reynolds has been keeping an eye on these playoffs. Even if he hasn't, or if he has, he'd say, don't have a good day, have a great day. It's been BritBoy Hockey. It's been week 1 of the PNIHL Playoffs, and I will see you next week, and goodbye.
UK Lightning win the National League Playoff Final.
The Phantoms against the odds.
They have done
the
it.
Leeds
It is
Knights.
the Leeds Knights who are your playoff champions.
The Sheffield Steel Dogs are your NIHL national champions.